Good evening, folks. Red County Blue Nation, Westcliff, Colorado, great states of Americans. Stephen Rorick at the wheel here, Mike Boring on the console. I'm hoping Jimmy shows up here pretty quick. Here we are, another week down. Still dry. Still windy. Still all of the stuff that it is what it is. It's still just just another week here in the great world of the great planet of Earth, folks. A lot going on. I don't really know what to think or what to believe. One minute they say that Strait of Hormuz is open, the next minute it's not. Then we're blockading. Then it's this, then it's that. So I don't know what's going on. It's too much lying in this world, folks. I don't know. Just pretty hard to keep track of stuff when everything, you just don't know if it's true or not. But with that being said, I ran across another video about this synthetic telepathy. Thought that was pretty interesting. It kind of odd. I mean, the CIA just declassified that we're all liquid crystals. And so, I mean, everything resonates, right? I mean, crystals resonate, so it just makes a lot of sense that there could be something like synthetic telepathy. I mean, this MI6 whistleblower, they said they had something planted in his tooth where he couldn't talk to his handlers, but his handlers could definitely tell him everything they needed to tell, and so somehow his tooth is like an antenna that goes to his brain. I mean, I know it seems pretty wild, but I mean, this guy has all the qualifications. I mean, he's got like a PhD in science and all kinds of stuff, so.
Are you in here?
Yeah, we're in here.
I was getting by earlier. Hollered in here, and then I hollered at you, and I don't know what the fuck you were watching. I thought, that motherfucker's in there, he is so fucking asleep, it ain't even funny.
Yeah,
So
hell.
I went and had me a brewski. You know what I mean?
Not really. So
I guess you were here, I mean, unless you left with someone else, but. Fucking in my eyeball. It's just like right through here.
Huh. Yeah, so anyhow, folks, talking about this synthetic telepathy.
We're not live, are we?
Oh, yeah, we've been live like 10 minutes or something.
Really? What time is it?
I don't know. I guess it's 5 after 7. It's only 5 minutes live.
Oh, sorry. Shoot, I thought I was like 10 minutes early. Sorry, folks, I'm here though.
I wasn't sure what you was up to if you were.
No, just working, trying to get stuff done.
I didn't hear you. I wasn't asleep. I don't know.
I don't know. I hollered. Heard the TV going, but it's all good. I had no idea. Doesn't even matter.
Had to go take a little break there.
No, I met with a couple people and yeah, it's all good. It's all good. Yeah, I didn't even know we were rolling yet.
We're rolling.
Got it. Cool.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So you're talking about the stuff the military's been doing for a while.
Yeah, it's linked to Havana syndrome, but I mean, it's what I just was talking about was the CIA declassified that we're actually liquid crystals. which, I mean, makes sense. Everything resonates with the frequency, so, I mean,
It's way out of my pay grade, but yeah, I do understand that, without a doubt.
I mean, it's as simple as we are what we are.
Well, you can see the people that are trying to control us are using frequencies, whether it's 4G, 3G, 1G.
60 hertz, the whole 9 yards. I mean, they've been doing it before there was. I mean, that video that I was listening to about this synthetic telepathy. I mean, they've been doing that since like the 60s or 70s. I mean, the technology is so advanced compared to what the what the normal human understands, and what technology really is out there. It's so far advanced. I mean, we can't even comprehend.
Yeah, the way I look at it is they're really, I think in the purity of creation, the planet, and how we're built, there was a really nice frequency where everything worked and channeled together and worked in harmony. And they are absolutely perverting and screwing all that up. That's how I boil it down. And
Yeah.
it shows. I mean, you look at society today. People are, I mean, it's pretty far-fetched, Nugan. There ain't no doubt about it.
Well, like I've talked about before, when you look at the keys of Enoch, they talk about this being a downward spiral planet, which we're actually, according to the keys, we're actually in a good position because at least we have souls. There's a lot of stuff scattered out throughout creation that is soulless, right? So it's just, I mean, they're just creatures that have no I mean, they think of only one thing, and that's eat, right? Or, gonna eat you.
Well, yeah, it's complete rebellion against the light. Just a bunch of darkness and perversion.
Well, and I mean, what this is talking about is that there's not even a chance for the light. It's a different set of, like, the midway station and the beams from the center of the universe that are coming at us, that we line up in this frequency that we even have a chance to see the light. So they say. I mean, it's what it is. It's just a book, and I mean, everybody is entitled to paint the picture that they see.
Well, and that's where we have such a lot of different perspectives on different things. And that's why it's tough. We used to have a lot of unity. We had patriotism. I mean, things that brought cohesion. I mean, the world wars did that.
I mean, you would think so, but
Well, it did. I mean, it brought cohesion, it brought camaraderie, and it brought nationalism, it brought patriotism. And you had all that, what would you call that? Consciousness that was agreeing with a purpose and a mission.
yeah, but if you look at the bigger picture, there was none of that. It's all about division and extermination and all of that.
Right.
So if you look at
You just had the ants agreeing, but these people up here were destroying it.
yeah, it's like
Right.
we have an anthill and we're up here throwing gasoline on it and gonna light it on fire.
But the ants are getting after it, man. They're in agreement. We got a mission. So that kind of, yeah, that is the big picture part.
Well, and that's perspective is everything.
Well, it is. And you say it really well. You do hold the door open for someone. You know what I mean? The day-to-day kindness that you do, that's how we feed our being. When you're kind to others, that's how we withstand the wilds of all of this. I think we get above it with that behavior, and with that belief system, and you treat people the way you want to be treated. It's a golden rule kind of thing. So that's the only way I know to overcome the crazy that's going on. And we're growing in a lot of knowledge. You know, all the frequency stuff and all the, you know, get into the crystals and you get into, you know, the center of the universe and this is going this way. How do you really digest that and put it into, you know, day-to-day or minute-by-minute perspective?
I mean, that's a really good question, because
Once you have all of this awareness,
that's back to, I mean, that's a very, very legitimate concept or
view or observation
topic.
Yeah.
I mean, there's no question that two people look at the same thing and see something different, but yet we can still derive at the same conclusion. And that's the way it is with math as well, right? There's more than one way to skin a cat, so to speak.
Well, I mean, look at Common Core. I mean, you could spend 9 minutes going around what's 9 plus 9.
Well, I'm not talking about none of the bullshit. I'm talking about the reality of numbers.
Sure.
There is more than one way to get to the answer that are both legitimate.
Oh, yeah, sure. Yeah.
And that's really what I'm talking about here, is how many different, my old buddy Jackie that made the 9-volt battery, right? He was telling me about, he had a student in math, and they figured out like 21 different ways to do this calculus problem. They were all legitimate, right? I mean,
They all came out with the same answer, but
right.
they had a different formula.
Different steps,
Absolutely.
different procedures to get to the same answer.
Sure.
And so that's really what we're talking about, was, you know, when we're talking about the concept of light coming from the center of the universe or whatever. I mean, you can say, yeah, that's God or whatever you want to call it, right?
Yeah.
Your perception of what a higher being, but yet it's, at the end of the day, it is what it is. You can call it or think it or say it or cuss it or do whatever, but it's, regardless of what one little sack of flesh, one skin sack, one water sack thinks about it, it's, regardless what you think about it, it still is what it is. And
Absolutely.
And that's the what I was talking about just before you got here, that's irritating, is a guy just don't know what the hell's going on right now. I mean, 1 minute we hear the straits open, the next minute it's closed. Now we're the ones that's got it closed. Blah 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 blah.
So, I mean, and that's where I was going to. You could listen to all the noise and the rhetoric, but it still comes down to getting the hot rod built, getting the construction jobs done, pay the bills, milk the cow, hope it rains, the pasture, fence, the normal everyday deal. I mean, and it's good to have some awareness.
Well, the thing is,
without a doubt, especially as men.
The thing is it is what it is. Whatever's going on in Iran is what it is, and we don't have a clue what the hell's going on. We're asinine to think, if we do, that if we
You
think
bet, yeah. Because I don't.
that somebody is going to give us a true perception of what's really happening.
Yeah,
right? There's too many reasons for them to deceive us. I mean, the whole thing, in my opinion, is deception from the start. It's all about starving people out, making fuel hard to come by, making food hard to come by. This is all the eugenics of the globalists that they've always had. They think they need to kill people off. Same thing in World War II. Same thing in World War I. It's that same thing of...
They serve money as opposed to love. And it's a spirit of mammon.
I mean, they
in
do,
finances and power.
They do serve money, but there's more to it than that.
Oh,
I mean, there's a
There's a darker picture.
There's a
Deeper.
darker picture than a
Darker,
dollar bill.
deep. There's a darker and deep. So that's the kingdom, and it's based on that foundation. Is based on monetary gain, monetary power.
Most of it is, but not all of it. I mean, you look at the
No, that's just a manifestation, Stephen.
You look at the very top of the top, the people that are actually printing the money. I mean, like, if you can just print it, then why does it matter? You see what I'm saying? It's like,
It's fiat. That's why they call it fake money.
well, I know, but what I'm saying is if you literally can print money, then why do you care about money? If you have plenty and you don't need, you're not for wanting or needing, that's a whole different concept there. And when you talk about the lust for money, well, if you already have so much money that
Money's the tool you use to manipulate.
There's something different there besides just
Oh,
money.
yeah. No. When I say that, I'm not saying that without a lot of complexity. The complexity is money is the tool in the carnality that's being served with it. That's where you get people dumbed down, and they're happy just to go to work and make their paycheck.
Well, yeah. Well,
That's social conditioning at its finest.
I'm talking about people that are way up at the top that,
Well, they orchestrate it.
I mean, they have more money than you can ever even spend.
They manipulate inflation, which puts bondage upon the normal people.
Yeah,
That's
on-
all you got to know is
on
they
purpose.
use. Oh, it's intentional.
Yeah. Well, that's
No,
what
they
we're
use
talking
the
about.
tool
it's-
of money, and it's called mammon.
Eugenics. We are going to exterminate you.
Yeah. And then we found this mRNA thing we can put onto your. Oh, you wouldn't take it as a vaccine, so now we're going to put it in and on your food.
Oh, it's in the air, in the water, it's everywhere.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so zeolite, folks, the zeolite is the binder. I know we've talked about that before, but the zeolite is it's kind of like diatomaceous earth or silica in a gas chromatography. It's the substance that helps bind and fill, a binder filler that can help remove some of this stuff.
To get it out. And is it through the blood system? Is it through your anus? Do you shit it out? Do you piss it out? How's all that work? How do you ingest that? And then how does it go through your body? And then how do you discharge it?
I mean, there's only 3 ways to discharge, so I mean, it's probably all of the above.
Got it.
I would imagine. I don't know. I've never taken any.
Well, no, but as the days go by,
I would like to, though.
no, that's what I'm saying. As the days go by, it may be a mandatory normalcy.
If a guy had this money that we're talking about, it would be standard protocol. In my world, it would just be part of a regimen that a guy should take every day, because with all the shedding and all of this stuff, it's floating around everywhere.
Yeah.
Hell, it's in the air. They already proved that. I mean, that's what Dr. Jane Ruby was talking about with them things coming down and falling on the screen on her garden, and they're looking at it. It's like these little, I mean, they're parasites that are in the air. But, I mean, realizing what it is part of it. What to do about it is the other part. Cussing them over it is basically futile.
No, but getting people's awareness of it is kind of a big deal.
Really, what a guy needs to do is be aware enough of it himself and what he can do about it himself. That's the biggest challenge. And ultimately, at the end of the day, that's how they keep us down pressed, is we don't have enough money to buy.
To combat, they're crazy.
Yeah, we don't have enough money to buy the supplies that we actually need.
Well, the thing is to stop them from doing it. An ounce of prevention's worth a pound of cure.
Well, and that's what I'm saying. You ain't stopping them from shit. There's nothing getting stopped. They ditched Doge. They are spraying chemtrails as heavy as they ever have. I mean, in my opinion, there ain't nobody stopping shit, man.
Well, and getting that out there, so, let's just say those planes actually have to get fueled with this contamination. And then a pilot actually has to fly the plane off the ground and into the air. So there's a point of contact. It's kind of like what Ireland's doing. Ireland says, "We're done with you. My people died so that I would have a life. Now you're taking my life from me. I guess I'm going to have to die for my family." And that's where Ireland's going right now. It's a big deal. I don't know if anybody's watching that, but Katie barred the door there. Shut her down, boys.
Yeah, the bad part is it's just like the PFAS chemicals. You can stop it here, but if the whole rest of the world just keeps on flushing it down, and you might be able to keep your own little spot sort of clean, but it's guaranteed that if they're spraying the damn chemtrails, that it's going to get on Ireland.
Well, that's what the immigration, giving all their hard-earned money to immigrants. They're the same things that we're combating here. Ireland's saying, hey, because it escalated a lot faster in Ireland, and it started choking out the normal people. And they thought that the elected officials would wrap their head around it and say, wait a minute.
Yeah, hell, to me, it's more like what's going on here in the county. Ireland is a small little place compared to,
Oh, jeez, it's a drop.
It's small, so it comes to a head quick, kind of like
Absolutely.
Like the county.
Kind of like absolutely. We have a little microcosm of all of it. But yeah, that's why we're doing this. That's what the podcast is about, is to get people, the awareness of what's going on in the big picture, and then also be able to operate locally with ethics.
Well, and that's one of the things that that we're having a challenge with here. I mean, we have these resolutions, folks. We've talked about these. If you were at the caucus and you stayed long enough, which I know it's a challenge. Most of the people boogied, and I can't blame you, but it's important. It's important to be engaged, and like I said, when you've had enough, you've had enough. I understand that, but the resolutions that were passed at the caucuses by the people, Republicans,
And accepted at the assembly, right?
voted for it at the assembly, that we're supposed to get taken to the county commissioners. We have a problem here. And the problem is that Ann Barthrop now is the chair of the Republican Party.
And she took whose place?
Andrew Zeller.
Oh, yeah, and he's like the pastor or something up the seminary.
Well, yeah, Sky Ranch, Horn Creek.
Horn Creek, Sky Ranch. He's a pretty stand-up guy.
Well, I'm not trying to badmouth him, but there's this particular reason why we had to get attorneys to slow them down, because they claim that they're all good in all of this, but they're not at all, or we wouldn't have had to get attorneys to show them what the law really is.
Well, no, and that's why I brought that up.
Yeah, your credibility in my book goes completely down when I have to hire an attorney to get you to get you in line, and then when you go ahead, Andrew, on record and say that my attorney doesn't know what he's talking about. All I can say is that's childish to say that.
Well, not only that, but the highest GOP elected person, the highest GOP, right, Republican person in Colorado, Corporon.
The committee person, that there's only 2 committee people that go to the RNC, and there's a man and a woman, and our attorney, Randy Corporon, is.
So he wasn't just pulling stuff out of his butt, and he's out of Greenwood Village, and he's very knowledgeable, and it ain't his first day. And for Andrew to combat us and say, well, we think we're right and you don't know what you're doing. Here again, I'm not going to have a lot of respect.
Yeah, I have no respect. All you did was embarrass yourself. No.
Yeah.
I mean,
And we spent a bunch of money.
and yeah, and you know, you guys tried to say, well, we changed the law in 20. The law was changed. The law has been the same since 1992.
Yeah.
So I mean, all you do is deceive the public, and that's where I'm going with this. So Anne, which is the kingpin of all this stuff, she is the kingpin behind the Justice Center. She wants it really bad, along with Bill Canda, even though we've said no. So I did a lot of research trying to get exactly what the facts are. We've only actually voted it down once on the ballot, but yet we've said no, that we don't want it 3 different times. So I mean, potato, right? I mean, you can
Tomato.
try to argue with us and say, well, it only got voted down once. Well, like, can't you take a hint?
Well, and here again,
We don't want the damn thing.
that was the divider of the Republican
It
Party.
still is.
And it still is.
And that's where I'm going with this, folks. So you have these people that are in office, these elected officials, that are supposed to represent our
Voice.
this in particular. There were 6 resolutions. Stephen Robinson wrote 4 of them. Jack and I Jack pretty well wrote the other 2. I mean, I helped write one of them as well.
But it came out of the group of people.
It did, but I mean, I'm talking about who actually wrote it.
Yeah. The actual writers, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, talking about it came out of the group of people. Well, yeah, it came out of the group of people. That's how people feel about this shit. It's not
Absolutely.
just one person.
No, it's not just the guys wrote it. It was the voice of the people saying, yeah, we thought that was already put to bed.
But for these resolutions to pass unanimously, the one with the Justice Center did. I mean, there was 30 people voting in our caucus when that came around, right? It was 70 total, and that's what I mean. Over half the people left when it came to the resolutions, which, like I said, I understand, right? People's fed up with it. They don't want to participate. They don't want to sit around, and I get it, right? I totally understand. I'm not trying to get on anybody. I'm just saying that there's a lot more to it after you left, and that's what we're trying to get to, is these resolutions. So we pass these resolutions
In all 3 precincts.
in all 3 precincts. We take it to the county assembly. They're so far behind trying to do what they're doing, it really didn't go down like it should have. And then Ann gets a hold of all this stuff, and she says she's going to send it to the state. Well, it doesn't need to go to the state. It needs to go to the county commissioners. And at the CCRCC meeting there last week, or whenever it was, we were trying to get a different chair in there, and Ann won the nomination for the chair, which, it's not personal against Ann. It is what Ann stands for that I have a problem with. You, Ann, are in a position to represent the people, but you don't represent the people, you represent yourself. So we have like 100 people, at least 60 people voting on these resolutions that say we don't want the Justice Center, and you're saying, but we still do. And I don't know how it's going to unfold, folks, but I am so tired of people going against what we say as constituents. That's why we pass these resolutions.
And that was a process.
And this is a process. This is a legal.
No, it's a lot more than 60 people. Was that, how many, 30 people at your precinct?
Yeah, and that's what I'm saying. So
Okay.
if you had 40 some and half of them left, and so I mean, it's
Yeah,
not,
we got a chunk. We had a lot. But 3 times 30, let's just say there's 30 people. That's still 90 people.
If there wouldn't be that we're voting on the resolutions, everybody already boogied. You had 42 total voting members, probably half them left. That gives you 20. That's what I'm saying, maybe down there too. So I'm just saying there was probably about 60 people
Total. That's what I wanted to get clear.
that voted on the resolutions.
Got it. Okay.
I mean, there was more people that were at the caucus, but like I said, over half of them all left, right?
Yeah.
They couldn't stand.
Once the PCPs were elected and the process went on,
and the delegates.
and the delegates, they were like, okay, I did my duty.
Once they voted, then they were out of there. I mean, most people don't even understand. And these are non-binding, right, folks? These resolutions are non-binding. But what it is it's it's the voice of the people. I don't want the Justice Center because I have to help pay for it, and I don't want it. I don't want it, Bill. I don't want it. I don't want it, Ann. And so what you're forcing us to do is to take these measures in our own hands. We're going to go to the county commissioners as PCPs and present our case without the support of the CCRCC, which is complete dog shit in my opinion. You want to talk about division, Ann? You gave up there, and you want to talk about, oh, the Republican Party's so divided, and we got to really work hard to bring it back. It's you. You're the one with the problem here. You're the one that wants the Justice Center against all of our will. That's the problem here. If everybody wanted it and it was a good thing, it would be different. Then I'd be like, well, whatever.
There you go.
Hell, if we need it and it's good, great. If we can make it pay for itself and we can do all this stuff, more power to it. But that's not the case. You want to try to raise the sales tax in this poor little county up to what it is in Aspen and Winter Park. Like, what are you thinking?
I mean,
You want to just kill everything that's in this county with that bullshit.
Yeah, and that's why people, in the big picture was when the Justice Center was, I don't know, I think it was like 18 beds when they first started doing this thing. We called it like a territorial prison where we would be housing prisoners from other counties and getting paid. But one of the side effects of that is who's coming here to visit them? Are they getting exposed? Are we lending itself to a criminal element? How much was the nurses going to have to be paid? The one thing, it was never thought through or well thought out, and it was never well represented to the people, because the people would go, well, that mathematically just doesn't work out. There's 5,000 of us, and there's no way we're going to do that. There's no way it's going to happen. For them to pre-buy the property, lock us into a contract where we've got no way out. I mean, I think if that would have been me, I would have said, well, listen, if we can secure this for this certain price and we go through the standard operating procedure of acquiring a piece of property with the minutes, the meetings, the discussions and how it came to be, because that's what you need to do with the Sunshine Law. All of our business needs to be put up out front. And how that thing came to be is, here again, Paul Vogelson has tried to get the information from Bill Canda. And Bill Canda wouldn't even give it to Paul Vogelson, who was a standing commissioner. That's where we're at with this. And then Lucas Epp has called the people that were in charge of the mandate and said, well, what can we really do here? We don't have the money. You guys don't have the money anymore. You're $2 billion upside down at the state. So these underfunded courthouses has gone by the wayside. So what can we do to appease you? And what was the intention of it in the first place? The intention was to keep the judge safe, keep the jurors safe, and keep the plaintiff, and the whole thing needs to just be looked at, because we live in a little bit more evil world, I guess. So you got to raise the standard of protection. So Lucas is saying for $100,000 we buy 10 years. For $100,000 we can address the courthouse that we have now. For $100,000 buys us 10 years. Why that's not first and foremost, number one, it should be in the newspaper, even if it is Lucas, or what's his name?
What is his name?
Jordan. Yeah, Gordon. Jordy's his name. Even if we have to advertise that, or even put it on the radio station, whatever, have a nice expose of doing the people's business, of saying, Yeah, we do got Plan B. Plan B never happened. But Lucas, I believe, has got it, and he's trying to do his best. I believe he's doing his best.
I'm going to have to throw the bullshit flag on that one, and I'm calling you out on that, Lucas, once again, buddy. Why can't you come against Bill Canda and Ann Barthrop? You know this is what needs to be done, but you won't say anything?
Well, it's,
Like what?
No,
really?
and Steve,
really?
Really?
You got a solution, but you won't say anything about it. Come on, man.
So I asked him the question at the workshop. You were at the workshop, and he came out with it. And he also said something about it
He said
at
it.
the caucus.
He said it right at the caucus, but nothing's getting done when he can do something about it. Yeah, you'll stand up and talk about it at the caucus when Bill Canda and Ann Barthrop are not there to hear you. But you won't say nothing in front of them? And so now here, you're part of the board, Lucas, that votes Ann in, and she's part of the division of this whole thing. So you're gonna crowd me out here on a limb and force me to represent the constituents on my own, while your little group is going against the will of the people. That's what's going on here.
Well, and and here's the other part. It's a political atmosphere. This is all a political thing. We don't
call it what you want. To me, it's simple math. We don't need the dang Justice Center. It costs too much, and it doesn't. There's no logical reason for it. That's the same thing, Bill. Mr. Canda, you say that we don't know what's good for us. Man, you can't prove to me, you can't say one single thing about the Justice Center that is positive. Because there isn't any.
No,
there ain't none.
It's a huge albatross. But pre-buying that property and tying our hands, it almost looks like we're getting extorted. And that's the things that irritate Custer County people is like, why are they running roughshod over us? Why did that take place? How did that take place?
Well,
how did we pay so much more money?
Why is someone like Lucas, that's supposed to be representing his constituents, and he knows the solution, but yet he won't say anything? And you're going to vote to put Ann in a higher position, and you're going to keep voting against. You're going to keep voting against us. The people that are bringing what is the will of the people to the public. So I'm going to have to take it upon myself. I say that. The four of us PCPs are going to take it upon ourselves to bring these resolutions to the county commissioners, and they are not going to like it. But we don't care. This is what the people said. And the fact of the matter that the Republican Party doesn't support us, the Central Committee, I mean, that's a huge burr under my saddle.
Well, it's a big red flag. And here again, that's why we have the elections. And that's why the politicians somewhere along the line have to answer to the people.
Well, just like with the CCRCC, it doesn't matter if you have elections. If they keep outvoting you, it doesn't matter, and that's where we're at. Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter what you say, Jimmy. We don't care what you think, Jimmy. We don't care what you say, Jimmy. We're gonna do it. We're gonna do it with or without your approval.
That's why
But the thing is, folks, is they can't do it, so they just keep continually just spending money after money after money, because the voters are not going to go for it. Why would anybody that lives in Custer County vote to raise their sales tax to whatever 14% or whatever it is?
It's bizarre.
I mean, you're talking about you want to try to make this a place for young people where everybody's trying to brainstorm and say, oh well, what are we going to do about the youth? And we got young families with kids that we want to try to be part of our community, but yet you're going to pull something like you want to raise the sales tax to as high as anywhere in the state. Like, I mean, do you really think that somebody believes your crap?
Well, then here again, that's the workforce housing, low income housing, whatever it's called.
All of that. I mean, it's the principle, regardless of regardless of the workforce housing or low income housing or whatever. It's the fact of the matter of the people of this county can't afford that. Most people up here, I mean, there's a lot of people that's got some pretty hefty pockets, but there's also a decent number of retired folks that live on a fixed income, and they can't afford that kind of increase. They moved here. They have their pension. They're conservative. They're shrewd with what they do. You know, they're careful how they spend their money so that they can have a decent life. And here you are, you wanting to try to screw all that up. Like it's totally bizarre that you, Lucas, will keep allowing this to happen. I mean, you're as much to blame as anybody because you have the solution, but you won't say anything. And what do you tell me? You tell me, well, I'm just going to hope that Bill lets it get away from him and it won't go on the ballot and I won't have to worry about it. And I said this about it before. I think that is very immature, and I cannot understand why you won't stand up to Ann, Lucas. Why? You're going to go against all your constituents? You keep trying to pull this. I mean, it's going to be hard for you to get elected because everybody is figuring out what's going on with Ann here. She can't continue to go down the street she's going down forever because people are figuring out what she's about. She don't care about none of us. All she cares about is how she's going to get her pockets lined about this whole deal. And I don't know how it is, but it's got to be that way because you can't tell me that she is okay with raising the sales tax to as high as anywhere in the whole state of Colorado, and that's good for the people of of Custer County. I mean, it's just not. And nobody that has any kind of a half of a brain would think that way. They have ulterior motives, or they wouldn't be going for it like that.
Well, just putting that contract together, it sounds like she was instrumental, but we can't get the information from Bill on the intimacy of how all that took place.
It's going to happen. I mean,
it's coming.
We've been over here fighting, trying to make it happen, and it's what it is it's attorney time. It's time to get attorneys involved, and just like we did at the CCRCC. You folks, none of you know it yet. And I'm going to talk to each one of you about it so that you understand the gravity of where you were at. You were going to kick us off. You were going to kick Jimmy and I off of the Custer County Republican Central Committee for stuff that we said, which I'll admit was a little bit harsh, but I finally got your attention, huh? You wasn't listening any other way. You wasn't listening to me no other kind of way, Lucas.
Sounded like Donald Trump saying we're going to take out the whole deal. Used a hyperbole.
To put pressure on you.
Yes.
Is why we have the podcast. And so for us to have to come to you think you're going to kick us off, which was illegal. Yeah, what we said was before we were even elected. And it's all a bunch of baloney. Obviously, it was baloney, or I would be arrested and be in jail.
Yeah.
Jordan.
We both would be.
Jordan. With you and your poppycock newspaper you got, buddy. I know you tried to call me like 100 times the other night. I don't use that phone much anymore. That's like my crypto phone, so I don't answer that number. 719-371-0233. Pal, you want to call me up. Tried to tell me I'm a pussy because I won't answer my phone. You kiss my ass, son of a bitch.
Well, he's got a pretty good email track thing going on there, and he probably should.
But back to business here.
Absolutely. Let's think about
back to business.
How close they came to losing their homes.
Nobody understands this, but Jimmy only got 8 to 4. They had to have 10. 10 was 2/3 of the vote. And they voted at 9 to 3. So we had Stephen and Harold, our two PCPs, and I'm not sure who else voted for me, but there was one other person that voted for Jimmy. But the 9 of you that voted against me, our attorneys were going to go after all of your personal belongings. We were going to sue you for everything you had. And we wrote a letter to you, but you didn't even listen. Andrew Zeller, you're up there saying, well, hell, you can't sue a volunteer. You have no idea how close each one of you was.
It was pretty close.
All you had to do, one more person would have voted against me, there would be lawsuits against each and every one of you personally.
We would have full control over the CCRCC at this point, because they would have went at those were. That was just nonsense. What was taking place?
And so that's only one of 3 things. The next thing is that you tried to have a vacancy meeting when there was never a vacancy. Had to get the attorney after you after that, so that what's Andrew say? Well, I no longer. I pulled back my resignation.
Rescind.
Yeah, I rescind my resignation. Rescind my resignation, and then you wait till it's 10 days right before the next meeting and then resign, so that nobody has a chance to really
Find someone else to take your place.
Yeah, I mean, whatever.
That was pitiful.
So we had to get the attorney to do that, and then we also had to get the attorney because you put yourself as delegates without being voted on.
Without being elected by the people.
And then you try to say, you changed the bylaws. You changed the bylaw to go against the state law, and then try to say, well, they just changed that last year. No, they didn't.
No, they didn't.
That happened in 1992.
90, yeah.
So, I mean, you guys have been devious and lied to us every step of the way, Andrew, Ann, and the rest of you.
And
You lied to us about it, and we had to get attorneys to keep you straight. That's what's coming on at the courthouse. We are going to get attorneys to keep this justice center from happening. We're not going to put up with this deviousness that you guys think you can do.
Well, then people got their checkbooks out too, and that's the deal. That wasn't just, you and I throwing in a few bucks to a high-powered lawyer.
No, hell, that was like, I mean, I don't know what
That was a lot of folks come out.
Exact bill was, but I mean, it was close to $5,000 just to get them. We have to pay $5,000 to get you in order.
Run by a pastor.
Run by a pastor.
I mean,
with a doctor in front of.
Yeah, with the fake facade of, you don't even question me. I'm the greatest. Like, really, pal? That's not the environment we're in. You should have led by example. You should have looked into the way of your going. So, there you go.
Yeah,
I mean, you can't change it. It's already done. It's already done, and you got caught.
Them bylaws were changed on your watch. Andrew.
Yep. With Lucas.
And it was against the law.
Yeah, with Lucas up. With Lucas in there. In December, I believe it was in December, they were anticipating this thing that we were doing here on the podcast and all the extra.
Same reason why they were anticipating they had a vacancy election when there was no vacancy, because they knew that they were in trouble, and it didn't go down quite like it should have. I mean, we needed a little more support.
Well, I had 5 deputies dressed up like they were going to Iraq at Precinct 1. People come by there, they say, we are not even slowing down. And come to find out, it was Mr. Zeller that had called the sheriff, and they were afraid for their life because of what we said on the podcast. And I was going to be at Precinct 1. Talk about intimidation. Talk about overreacting. Pitiful. Absolutely pitiful. But we've tracked it. We've got it all tracked. It's okay.
And the real ornery part about it now is that Ann doesn't want to support the resolutions, and neither does Bill as part of the CCRCC, because they have something to gain from it.
Well,
so they won't support us as PCP. And by the way, right? Let's get this. Let's
get her aired out.
I was hoping to get Stephen Robinson on this evening, because he has he's taken some. I mean, he's well versed in part of the system of how it goes together. I mean, he's taken courses about how this stuff goes together, and we're talking about how the PCPs are the only ones that are elected by the constituents.
Duly
the
elected.
rest of this club is just patty cake, baker's man, right? That actually has. They don't know it, and Ann doesn't want to admit it, but she actually works for the PCPs. The executive committee works for the PCPs, but they don't want to admit that, and they're going to do everything they can to stop it. She's telling Jimmy, you can't even talk to the commissioners. Sorry, Ann, but we're going to the commissioners, and we're going to put the pressure on you too. I mean, it has to be that way. There's no way that it's the Republican Party and the Republican constituents of this county say, no, we don't want the courthouse, but Ann and Bill say, yes, you do. Like we don't, Bill. And you're going to understand. I mean, you've already gotten yourself in hot water. And I'm not trying to say that Bill Canda has a rap sheet. I guess I maybe kind of over-exaggerated that. I mean, this is a one count of fraud.
Well, it's
Tax evasion, I guess is what it is.
tax evasion was the words they used, and then it's a Class 6 felony.
It's a big deal.
And you
But
know,
that the problem is that these elected officials think that they know better and more about us than we know for ourselves.
they made it real clear. They stated it. You guys don't know what's good for you. You don't know what's good for you. Well, listen. The voice of the people said no justice center.
And
you need to comply to that and
so-
go to Plan B like Lucas did.
Yeah, and that's why I'm still giving you such a tongue lashing, Lucas, because you won't do anything about it. You know better, but yet you won't confront them.
What the hell's a tongue lashing now? Watch what you say there.
There's no humor for me tonight, folks.
I'm trying to be a little bit.
I'm not happy at all about this.
Well, most people aren't.
Most people don't even care and don't even have a clue that you were getting bent over the barrel like this. They're trying to raise your sales tax to the point where you will no longer be able to buy anything in this county, and then you got to turn around, and so if they raise the sales tax at Central Building Supply and you want to buy a new home, and now you have to pay the sales tax from Pueblo and then pay it up here too, to the highest in the whole county and in the whole state? I mean, like, how does that make any sense?
It's shooting yourself right in the foot.
I mean, it's the dumbest move around. But yet these two are just like wholeheartedly, I mean, they're going to go down with the ship trying to support this deal when the people don't want it. They don't want it. And don't need it, can't afford it.
Yeah, but Steve, look, you don't know what's good for you because
Yeah,
we
but
already
that-
bought the property, okay? We
Well,
already
that's
bought
why,
the property.
That's why we're getting an attorney. See, Jimmy's trying to have fun. There's no fun left.
No,
with
I'm
me,
I'm
folks.
bringing that out because that's the reality of it. We already bought the property. You're going to do it, whether you like it or not. That's a pretty good. That's almost like extortion.
To write in the contract that you can only use it for a government building, you can't buy it, or you can't sell it or lease it.
That's the most asinine thing.
Ain't nobody does that in the real world.
If the people had said and we got, you know, we said, yeah, we want to do the Justice Center, then I could see them going, if they would have had a contract that would have held it in position for a while with the stipulation saying, now listen, this has got a ballot measure it's got to pass. And we need a way out here. They didn't do that. They locked us down so hard with that contract. And that's the paperwork I'm trying to get from Mr. Billy Bob Biden Canda that's at his home office, which is another suspicious deal because it was Bill and Ann that negotiated apparently the the deal on the property,
Well,
which
yeah,
is
they-
another asinine deal.
They
There's
argue back and forth with each other. No,
who did it? I did it.
I know I did
done
it. No,
I
no,
did
it was me.
Okay, well,
Like,
we
really?
may get to find out here one of these days, because when you're doing the people's business, you've really got to keep track of the words you say, and that's where that sunshine law comes in. And when you have 3 commissioners and you got 2 of them sitting in the same room for half the day together, that's a meeting. You guys aren't even aware of how you're violating the sunshine law. I cannot comprehend that you don't have that in your conscience, that you can't have even the appearance of wrongdoing. How is that not just born into you? Especially Vogelson being, I expect he's in his late 60s, early 70s, somewhere in there. That should be built in your conscience.
Yeah,
You should
didn't
have
you-
a conscious
Didn't
awareness.
you learn that? Didn't you learn that in the service? And that's the same thing too, Paul. Why won't you come against Bill and Ann? Is it that hard for you? They make that. What else can what else can go wrong besides you voted against them?
Ann Epstein. Looks like she's got something on you boys where you can't be free.
Yeah,
You can't do your business in the freedom of the
it's
sunshine.
It's all of them.
All of you.
All everybody involved at the Central Committee to almost get 9 people to almost vote me off, and you almost all got sued personally for everything that you have. Did you understand what I just said? You almost got sued personally for everything. That's where you're messing around here, Andrew, and you don't know what you're doing.
Well,
You almost got sued.
Thank God he give up the chair at least.
And you're going to try to tell us, well, your attorney, he needs to go back to school. Yeah, jeez, dude. You better quit listening to Ann. Luckily for you, you're out of harm's way now. I can't blame you. I'd have got the hell out of harm's way too. But this is just now getting to the point where the public we're working on our interactive tool. Right, we had a meeting last night. The boys are on it, right? We already got the dashboard lined out. It's going to be cool. It's going to be really cool.
Absolutely. So we're trying to bring it into the modern.
Yeah, what that's going to be is it's going to be a real world way for us to represent the constituents. What do you really think about the Justice Center? And so when every one of these invites that we send out to everybody else, is it just going to be the handful of people that try to run with Ann that vote yes, and then there's going to be like 2,500 people that say no? I doubt we can get that many. It's just going to be over time. Maybe we can. Over time, we might be able to talk to people and say, hey, look, we're not. I'm not interested in. Opinions are one thing, right? And that's usually what a newspaper is it's an opinion, someone's opinion about something that's happening. The way we have this interactive dashboard set up, AI will pull what comes from the commissioners and summarize this and then put this into a straw poll so that we can make a legitimate come to a consensus here. Do we think that it's good about this certain subject? And then we can say, well, we do think this is good. And as the PCPs, right, which Ann says we can't do, but we're going far and be above her, right? She doesn't understand that you work for us, Ann.
She's like her secretary.
You might be the chair, but you work for the PCPs, not the other way around. And that's something that nobody's ever understood. And you women don't understand how it works. You think that you're volunteering? No, you're elected. There's consequences. You almost got sued. The 9 of you, if one more of you would have voted against me, and I'm not threatening anybody here by any means. I'm just saying that's how close it came. You don't even understand how close it came that you got sued. But yet you're going to stand up there and say, well, we're just volunteers. We don't have to be accountable.
Oh, we can't get sued. We're volunteers. You can't sue us. That's the most asinine thing I ever heard in my life. We're volunteers. Where did that information come from? Who dredged that idea up? These are elected public. You're doing the public's work. And what is that? Finance campaign rules? The campaign law? Man, you are under so much. You got Tracer that's involved.
Yeah,
you got to account for so much stuff.
You can't even keep Tracer straight.
And I'm still not over the digital thing. People are asking me, how come we're not? How come it didn't get advertised? We saw, what was that county? Weld County or some county. I was watching it on Facebook, and man, you couldn't get away from their advertisement trying to get their constituents to get to the caucus and be involved. We failed at that. And I don't know if it was a legitimate fail. And some people are going, they don't really invite us. They don't try to reach out. They don't try to get the public invited. And it looks like another pattern of behavior, an intentional failure. And I said, there's no way they'd be doing that. Let me get the information for you and remove that doubt. I can't get the information, so now the suspicion's even growing more. But that's their own dealings. That's their own doings. I've been asking for it for a month. As soon as I found out about it, people were like, that don't sound right. They had enough time to at least do something.
And so what's the treasurer telling you?
Well, Ann paid for it, and then I gave her a check back for it. I want to see.
They're basically saying that this is a private group. We don't deserve to look at the money. That's what we got in trouble. That's why I got on Joni about the whole thing, because of the way she acted. And Laurel Eimer told her, "You are completely mistaken. You have to show." That's why it is campaign finance law.
It falls under that, and it is so stringent. It's unbelievable.
Y'all sued Lenarigo just because he's trying to help, and Don is over here charging. We looked at this Tracer. We can see where you've been charging lunch to the CCRCC to try to help Nancy fix the Tracer, and you couldn't do it, and you guys got fined. You got fined because you can't even take care of as small of the books as the CCRCC is. You can't even take care of that. Because your whole concept is a strewn. You think you're a volunteer and that you don't have to report to the public? That's not the case at all. This is campaign finance law governed by the state and by the U.S.
It's statutes. I mean, there's law that it send you to the big house. I mean, that's the way it is. So it's lack of knowledge or arrogance or it's somebody they're pawing in. And I just put it right on Ann, just because it seems to me like she should be knowledgeable enough to say, wait a minute.
She's the one that knows the most, and she is the one that's in the position with the Justice Center, and she is also she is the ringleader.
Yeah, and here again, the clinic.
She is the one that everybody is
following.
She's the one that everybody's afraid of. You can't say anything against that. Well, I mean, are you that afraid that she's gonna try to recall you? Like, she can't recall you without the people, and it has to be for good reason. It can't be just because you're not following Ann. I mean,
She don't carry the power that you're given. and with the revival of the Republican Party and the community getting involved, and some pretty stellar folks have got involved. Pretty knowledgeable, stellar folks have got involved, and it is amazing how this has happened. They got money, they got time, they got knowledge, and a lot of good, down-to-earth, well-spoken, really, really well, I mean, just good, solid people have come to this side and said, look, what is going on here? And then they walk through the caucus. They've walked through the assembly. They see it. And then they've gone through a meeting, one of the CCRCC meetings. They watched what's taking place, and they're pretty keen. Their perception is spot on. So it is going to get figured out. We are going to get it. we're going to get it straightened out. And all the folks that went to an independent because they were disgruntled over the Gestapo that was running it, I'm hoping they come back.
All I can say is that dysfunctionality is, I mean, it's a sad state of affairs, folks. I mean, this is such a beautiful place, such a beautiful world, and there is so much wickedness. I mean,
and that's what we're doing. We're raising the standard.
We're not trying to bang on Bill Canda here, but Bill, I mean, why can't you just go ahead and charge you're already charging your customers an arm and a leg. What the hell is another $200 worth of damn pipe? Like, why do you not have enough ethics to think that you're above us, that you're gonna, why can't you just keep it straight, bud? Well, and you're in bad trouble now. I mean, a class 6 felony, that's kind of a big deal.
And he hasn't been convicted. And we haven't even, I don't even know when the hearing's scheduled.
We know that he's already done it. We know that he's been doing that multiple times. I mean, that's already a given.
Well, one of the other things too, that Dorothy Karsten lost her job over this because she was the person that was the tattletale. She actually did her job because she is by statute required to go to the authorities immediately if she sees any of our taxpayer money being misused, abused, whatever. She lost her job. And I don't know who else was involved in all that. There was a pretty good little conspiracy, and I'm not going to mention your names because you guys know I was at that meeting and watched the little carnival of events that took place. But it's all going to come out. It's all coming. Every bit of it's coming. And here again, ethics is the first line of defense because what it does is makes you above even the law. You don't even have the appearance of wrongdoing if you're ethical. And that's what it requires you to do, is not even create an environment of suspicion.
And that's what we're dealing with, though, folks.
Yeah.
That's what we're trying to bring to the light, is these people do not care.
Boy, it is.
They have no concept of morality. All they have a concept of is I am better than you, and I know what's good for you more than you know for yourself. That whole concept is not what America was founded on. And for these people to talk that way, to act that way, and to spend our money that way, it's only going to go on for so long. We refuse. I mean, it's only going to go on so long, Bill. The CBI is a mile up your ass over it, buddy.
Yeah, I don't know.
That don't even have anything to do with the Justice Center. That's something as simple as you was using the tax number to get parts cheaper for your septic business.
Saving tax money. That's where your paycheck comes from.
Saving a couple $100 a job.
And that's where your paycheck comes from.
I mean, it ain't even like you're talking. You know, it ain't like, oh man, I just saved myself $100,000. I mean, what's the parts on a septic tank?
Long story short, I don't know the particulars of all of it, but it looks, if CBI and then the 12th, is it the 12th district over there, DA, over in Alamosa? That person's, if they're charging an elected official, a commissioner of a county, they probably got substantial evidence to carry through on this. Otherwise, they would dismiss it if there was even a shadow. You know, that's just me thinking. That's how it's supposed to go down. I mean, if it's credible,
everybody wants to say that I was making death threats against all these people, but when the commissioner or when the district attorney looks at it, he's like, man, it's freedom of speech and it's a hyperbole, right? Did I get loud? I did. But did I get your attention? That's what I was trying to do, because you won't listen.
You did, though. You got their attention.
You won't listen to us.
You had them go.
Oh, Jimmy, nobody cares what you think.
Exactly.
Hell, you're the only one that's concerned. The reason that Lucas, the reason that you would tell Jimmy you're the only one that cares about it is because you guys have it covered up so bad that nobody else has it. It's hard to uncover with what you guys are doing here.
A lot of layers.
We we're coming after the money. We're going to get all of these back checks, whether you guys like it or not. I mean, you forced our hand. We've been trying to get you. We've been trying to play as nice as we can, as from constituents to elected officials. But you won't pay attention. You force us to hire attorneys, and look what just happened. That's how derelict the CCRCC is. You almost got sued personally, each one of you. That's how dysfunctional you are.
And it is right for us to say, listen, we've got a division in the Republican Party, and we as PCPs, you know, you guys say, oh, you can't even speak bad of the Republican Party. You wrote bylaws that say, oh, you can't even say anything wrong. What kind of asinine person says that? The whole thing about meeting here for months, educating people, getting positioned to influence the whole caucus in the Republican Party, because we have an upheaval in society and in our community, because we're dissatisfied with you, just like what Ireland's going through right now. That's what it's about. If you don't get it, you're just, well, I guess you're just going to be a locked-in politician with a real stiff neck. And you probably should have gave in, because this isn't stopping. We've got Colorado Open Records Act that we can implement. We can get all of our information that we need, whether they like it or not. You either give it to us when we ask for it, or you give it to us in front of a judge. Your choice. Because people got their checkbooks out. People got their checkbooks out. And then when you try to do character assassinations in a political atmosphere to try to gain an upper hand, I guess it would be called, I don't know, trying to decredit us, whatever you deface.
Political persecution.
It's political persecution. When you come at us, you don't know who you're coming at, apparently, because you ought to have packed your lunch. And I know it's okay. You're volunteers and you can't get sued. Well, whoever feeding you that amount of crap, you better watch who you're listening to, because you are held to a higher standard of behavior as soon as you start interceding on the behalf of the public and handling their money. That's what Tracer's all about. It's called tracking, tracing. See what I mean? You cannot, and that's where I'm at. We want that transparency. We will have it one way or the other. We're going to have uprightness. We're going to have transparency, and we're going to have that integrity installed back into our community through the Republican Party, whether you guys like it or not. We don't really care. It's coming. We're not stopping. There's no quit in us. It's happening, whether you like it or not. Period. That's it. End of story. People got their checkbooks out and they're like, yeah, let's get this done once and for all. So either get with it or you will get with it. Pretty sure. And we don't like to have to do this.
No, that's the last thing. I mean, if we would have known what was going to go down, we would have let you commit the crime. Basically, what happened is you had this big-ass, fat-ass cookie, and you're just about to bite on it. We're like, hey. And you're like,
put it back.
And then you put it back and you put the lid on, and then you look at us with these big puppy dog eyes like you didn't do nothing wrong. Well, they changed the law on us.
Another lie from a preacher.
Another lie.
From a preacher, Mr. Zeller. We'll have a talk. I don't have a problem. I'll come right up. Not a problem. Let's air it out. Let's get it out. Because we watched what you did, and it cost us a bunch of money to control you and to put you in your place underneath Ann's whatever. Guidance, whatever. Her pollen. And it's coming, because there's no quit. There's no stopping. 100% committed to this project.
The thing,
not quitting.
We're on the right side of history. We're on the right side of the numbers. We're all we're asking for is justice. We don't want the Justice Center. and you guys bought this property and you gave way too much for it. All of that
My
stinks.
goodness.
It stinks bad.
And we can't get the information on it.
And you still and here you are. You're gonna buck us on the resolutions too. I mean,
Well, they know better. They know better
Oh,
for
no.
us.
Yeah.
Jiminy Christmas. How pitiful are you people? You're a servant of the voice of the people, the will of the people. You don't run your own agenda. It ain't for your own personal gain. Trust me, it'll come out. Whatever you done in the dark is going to come to the light. That's all. That's all. And you ought to, confession's good for the soul. Just coming on out and saying it, getting it off you, Pastor.
The problem is everybody thinks Ann knows at face value. And I mean, she is suave enough and slick enough with what she does that we had to get an attorney to slow her down. Oh, we're just going to put ourselves in there. We're delegates. No, you're not.
If you ain't elected by the caucus, the public,
And
you don't get to go.
What we should have done, I mean, we screwed up, right? But we know next time, right? We should have let you commit the crime, and then you would have been banned from the Republican Party forever.
And probably homeless.
By breaking a state statute, trying to manipulate the law in your own behalf, creating the bylaws, rewording the bylaws against the counties or against the state statute.
And the real rub there, if I understand it right, is they neutralized the voice of the people at the caucus. They already appointed themselves, elected themselves without the voice of the people. And when you do that, that's a huge violation. When you get in between...
Class 2 misdemeanor.
Yeah. When you get in between the voice of the people and you violate the laws and the procedure, I don't care if you're a volunteer or not. I don't care if you're 90 years old and in a wheelchair. You got to go see the judge. You got to go see the judge. That's all. So we're going to hold each other accountable. We're going to hold everybody accountable because we do know the law. And we are free in that knowledge. We know how to run things now. You're not going to manhandle people. Whoever is Miss Annie, and she's probably sitting there smirking and ha ha ha, they're talking about you. That's pretty gross. But I know how you are. I've watched her at the Sentinel, with her church. I mean, she got a pretty good track record. I seen her at the courthouse getting sued. Seen her and her daughter. I mean, it is what it is.
So
expose. It's expose time.
we're working on it as feverishly as we can, folks. This interactive tool. I don't know what else to do besides do that. We're trying to get our group together here. I mean, it's difficult to try to get everybody on the same page. People got lives. I mean,
We're busy.
we're busy, and to try to just bring up something that actually is non-binding, it's like, I mean, we're just trying to do our job as a PCP to represent the constituents, but yet we really don't have any power, and that's what is so, in my opinion, so, I mean, it hurts my feelings. It hurts my feelings that I'm representing my Republican constituents, but that the board doesn't agree with me because they have ulterior motives. You don't support this resolution because you want the Justice Center, Ann. It's a crying shame. It's. I mean, it's
just really hard to stomach it.
It's grotesque is what it is.
And then
and you think that's what's better for the county? How can 12 or 15 or whatever percentage sales tax that's going to be, how can that be good for anybody? For the restaurants, the builders, the shop owners,
groceries,
all of it.
the low income housing they're trying to bring in, and that's a whole nother item that's going to be up for a little discussion.
You want to bring low income housing here because, I mean, we've already hashed this out 15 times, but you want You want to bring low income, you want to try to get what you call workforce housing, which is people that are skilled, and you want to bring them here, but they can't really afford it. But yet you want to raise the sales tax up to the highest of anywhere in Colorado. Like, how does anybody even think that way? I can tell you how they think that way. They're getting paid on the back end. There's no reason why you would act this way without getting paid. And everybody says, well, he just wants his name on the plaque. It says right in the contract that it's going to say the Chet Haga Trust. And I don't believe that personally. I don't believe that Bill is so shallow that it is so important for him to go against every one of his constituents just to get his name on a plaque. I don't believe that personally.
There's a monetary
It's
thing.
money. You don't fight this hard over some petty little shit. You don't put all these people at risk of losing their everything, their life, because you all of a sudden you pass this sales tax that nobody can afford.
So here again,
Or you ain't going to get it passed, right? Nobody's going to vote to tax us out of oblivion here. So for you, Bill, to say that we don't know what's good for us, it looks to me like you're the one that doesn't know anything about anything that you're saying, bud. I mean, the proof is in the pudding right there.
they're blinded by something. Somewhere along the line, they've got some delusion going on. But here again, not being able to see the appraisals, usually you get 3 appraisals before you buy a piece of property. I bought a few pieces of property in my time. And you also look at when you're developing the contract, you better give the people a way out. For you to bind them in a long-range money-spending thing without their approval. See, it's without their approval. You spent their money into the future. You really violated, what's the name of that? Tabor? The tax payer's bill of rights?
Yeah, you can't obligate the people's money for more than a year. That's why you have a budget.
And unless you get it passed by the people. You didn't get it passed. What are you doing?
And you also didn't give us an out. We can't sell it.
You
We
never
can't
gave
lease
us
it.
an out.
Can't do nothing
That's
with it.
called extortion. And the environment that you created with that kind of action looks like there's some backdoor money going on. That you're going to receive or already have received some backdoor money by abusing your position as a servant of the community. You use your position for personal gain. Just looks that way. I'm not saying it happened. That's why it's so important.
You are using your position for personal gain. That's why the CBI is a mile up your ass, bud.
Well, and here again.
You are using your position for personal gain. It's why you're in trouble with the law, Bill.
And it's grievous. I just wish somebody that has the power and influence would step in and get some stuff straightened out. Get up and, what do they call that when you get in front of the news?
That's you, Lucas. You're the one.
Vogelson.
Both of you guys have what it takes to head this off at the pass. And I talk to you about it, and you say, "Oh yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah," and vote with Ann, like. Whatever, man.
Think they'd have
whatever. Like, the attorneys are coming. You don't give us you gave us no choice.
Checkbooks are out and attorneys are coming.
So, I mean, it's enough said, right?
Yeah.
That's where you're at. You had a chance to do
proud.
something, but you won't do it. And so we have no choice but to get the attorneys after you.
I am so proud of the patriots that are in Custer County that understand, hey, okay, yeah, this is what we got to do. And like I said, they're strong, knowledgeable, and they're not going to stand for this anymore. They had their heads down, working hard, thinking we were running the county fine. And then they start finding out, oh no, it's a little bit not. So they're like, okay. And then they watched the CCRCC do their stunts. That's all it took. Game on. Politicians are not going to run roughshod over Custer County people. Not doing it. Ain't going to happen. I don't know if you understand that. I mean, I really need you to, and I need you to fix the problems internally yourselves. And I would say it'd probably be a good time for a press conference. Maybe you can get old Donald Trump to speak for you. Somebody. But you need to come flush. All of you've got into this together. And I'm including the employees that worked there during COVID, in the previous commissioners. They all... I don't know. To me, it needs to be, if you can't run the business of the people, tell us where you're failing and let us help you. Don't sit there and cover it up and act like you don't have a duty to us, because you have a duty, like a military soldier has a duty. You know why? Because you took an oath. Took an oath.
They're not failing. They're doing it on purpose.
And then if it's intentional,
The Justice Center's intentional.
that's absolutely intentional. But we also have some accountability in the finance thing. I think some of that's got to be looked at.
It's all the same. It's the accountability at the CCRCC finance too. It's all the same thing. Nobody is responsible with the money, Bill. That's obvious, or you wouldn't be in trouble with the CBI. You're the main man in charge, and you obviously have not been forthright, or you wouldn't be in the position you're in.
Absolutely.
It's that simple.
Even the suspicion of that happening and Dorothy losing her job. I watched you guys beat up on her. I watched that. I thought, what a disgrace. I thought she'd done a really good job implementing your tax thing. Oh, you got to pay all the taxes. If your house is worth $100,000 in the material, you have to prepay that. That was the Tom Flower deal. That's why Jackie Hobby had to go. Well, Dorothy got that done, and there was a huge amount of revenue. But you guys pointed your finger at her, and you got her out of there. Her husband does septics. Bill Canda does septics. The Brad Balsley, the coroner does septics. That's a lot of goofy stuff that went on there. I was watching how crazy that went on. And then the tow truck company towed her truck. And I'm not going to come all the way out and say it all, but you know what you done. That was an attack. That was an attack on somebody that squealed on Bill Canda and took him to the ethics. She had to go because she wasn't complying to the cabal. You better hope she don't turn around and sue the bejesus out of this county, because I think it's coming. I hope it don't. I hope it don't. But I watched that.
In the name of justice, I hope it does, but I hope it don't either, because I don't want to have to pay for it.
I don't want to have to pay for it. Our insurance just keeps going up and up, Billy Bob. How many lawsuits are you going to have to be in?
Is there anybody that's ever been in more lawsuits than him about this whole thing? I mean, now, the whole thing about where you tried to stand up with the Braden Wilson thing, I mean, I know that you try to get a bad rap off of that, but you actually did. You were on the right side of history there.
Should have went to the DA in a different district and filed charges saying we breached the law, and I don't want to have anything to do with it. But you didn't do it. You should have went over there and said the 402 was not followed. We did not get a search committee. We didn't follow this in hiring a Custer County, what do they call him? What was Braden Wilson?
County manager.
He was going to be a county manager. He was going to insulate the voice of the people between the commissioners. This county's not set up that way. It's politically not set up that way. And they tried to get that done. And here again, we got the executive meeting. Tom, you promised me, Tom, the job. So you're going to have to put a $50,000 going away bonus in it, because I'm not going to have the job now. Another extortion. We've had enough. We've had enough. And the treasurer to release that check. That's not your job to release that check. Your check is to only spend it and release it at the pleasure of the commissioners. You're a collector. That's the kind of things that we're going to get out in the open. We're going to air this out, and we're going to get healthy, and we're going to get strong, and we're going boldly into the future with wise planning and really anticipating what we need to do. I mean, we talk about some of these big things.
It's all fun and games. You've been so derelict to duty with these grants, and now the state is broke. All this stuff, what Bill Canda's done is put the spotlight on Custer County. I've talked about this a long time back in George's paper. If they put the claw back on these grants, I mean, I don't know what's going to happen. If they try to triple our property tax to come up with the $5 million or however much this clawback is for these grants because you didn't take care of them properly, Paul, trying to tell me you give yourself an A in finance, man, you don't.
Got your head so far up your ass.
It's a disgrace that you would even tell me that, because I don't think that you even know what a clawback is, or you wouldn't tell me that. But that's what's fixing to come, folks. We're in a lot bigger trouble than we understand here.
5 years ago, we told them, we said, look, the money's going to run out. The madness has to stop before it runs out. We've got to pull the reins before we go over the cliff. You didn't listen. You didn't listen. You just kept spending. Grant, 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 grant. That's all we ever heard. When you say grant, what you need to be thinking is that's somebody's hard-earned money that you took at gunpoint. You forced that money out of them. So you damn well better be able to spend it correctly. Don't abuse it. And that's what it's about. This is what a republic is. It's individuals. And you happen to do our business. And that's why there's a sunshine law. When you do our business, do it out in public. It ain't called the closet law. Go in the back there, or sit there in the meeting room, two of you all day long. There's only three of you, you're having a meeting. You don't even understand that. How asinine. How asinine. How unlawful. I mean, you're just lawless. It's just lawless.
That's where the attorneys come in.
But that's where an attorney comes in, and that's where the checkbooks of a lot of folks come out. It's scary how much money there's there. It's scary. Because people can throw a little money at it, but they don't have the time for your bullshit. That's why it needs to be self-governing. You need to take care of our stuff. You have to treat it better than your stuff. You're called a trustee. You're in a fiduciary position. That's why you're held to a higher standard of behavior. You got to get that through your head. If you don't have that going in, you're already foul. You're already foul. And most of you are foul. I mean, I think we've made some a little bit of progress, but it's come from the political pressure of individuals.
In my opinion, we haven't made any progress, but we're going to work on it. They're still full speed ahead on the Justice Center, so there ain't no progress, but we're working on it, folks. I mean, we can't. There's no use beating this horse anymore. He's already just a bloody pool, right?
Yeah, well, you can feed a dead horse, and that's kind of where we're at.
Stay tuned for this interactive device that is going to be able to explain what's going on, so we can all kind of keep abreast. It's very difficult to keep track of what the commissioners are doing. Nobody has the time, even the journalists or whatever. We're going to use AI to condense this stuff and put it in a format where we can get around it. And that's what we're going to do. So with that being said.
Yeah, good deal. Right on. God bless everybody.
Until next week, please enjoy your evening and stay safe. Pray for rain.
Yeah, eat some rain.
Hold the door open.
Hold the door open. Amen.